أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا. بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله، والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. قل يا أيها الذين هادوا إن زعمتم أنكم أولياء لله من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين، ولا يتمنونه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم، والله عليم بالظالمين. صدق الله العظيم.
Aska, you can start. I think Aska just got disconnected, so we'll just wait for her connection to be back. So we have a few guests. Niaza is also here. Hi, Niaza. Anta, you can hear me, right?
Yes, can hear.
Okay. And just worried that there's an issue with my connection. We are just waiting for Aska to rejoin so that we can start the session. Again, this is a new episode or new season. We are just trying to start off with Aska. So this is focusing on young adults, actually. We were focusing to have a lively session where we can interact with the young adults, especially because they are facing a lot of issues in terms of confidence, and then so many issues that we have identified. What about Nafa? What do you think, especially the young adults these days have, or what are the issues that you have seen that the young adults, teenagers are facing these days? Anto, what do you think? Yes, Aska is here. Aska, you are here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So This session, as I mentioned, is focusing for the young teenagers how they should be looking themselves to be the confident them. And then we are looking into ways, techniques, how they can love themselves, right? So discovering themselves, the magic within them. So that's why we decided to name these sessions Loving Me. And then we invited to collaborate uh, PCOMA to collaborate with Aishath Azka. She is also the author of the book Be Your Own BFF. She talks a lot about self-love in this book and talks about why it is so important, talks about different techniques that can be used to overcome these different types of emotions faced by the young adult. She's also the leading teacher at the Kafa Adult Founding Markers. And then also she's a campus manager at my college, right? So with all these experiences, she has written this book. I would like to hand over to Ms. Aska to highlight what is self-talk and then why it is so important.
Thank you, Isam. First of all, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have this session, to conduct this session. So thank you, Pikuma, for this wonderful opportunity and the work that you are doing in order to promote happiness and well-being among people and to promote coaching. When we talk about self-love, it includes a lot of things. Basically, it's about loving yourself. A lot of times we ignore ourselves rather than we focus on other things surrounded by us. So we feel like those are the important things and we ignore the self. So it is very important that we also think about ourselves, love ourselves. So mainly self-love is about loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves, uh, questioning ourselves, assessing what are our needs, what are the things that we want, and uh, do everything that is in our capability. So it includes a lot of things overall so that we can make ourselves better. So we will be able to cater for other things. We will be able to love other people around you that we give importance. So basically it is about loving ourselves. And it also includes telling ourselves that we love ourselves and showing it, doing things for ourselves. So before going in further, I would like to have a little bit of an exercise and tell me, write in the chat log what you do to love yourself. So anyone willing to contribute to the conversation? What do you do to love yourself? You can
I
write
think
in the
we
chat log.
do, yeah.
Yes.
Aska, I think you can just call names because I think we have very familiar names here.
Yeah.
All colleagues, so just make them uncomfortable and comfortable at the same time.
Okay. I'll call on underneath Naf. Okay, Anth has written that spend your own time. Yes, that's very good. Like that is also a part of loving ourselves, right? Spending our own time, having our own time, and spending alone time. Yes, that's very important. It's like spending our own time, right? Is there anything else? Okay, spending alone time without any distractions from anyone, right? What about Niaza? Okay, Neela, what do you do? Okay,
Any the message?
yeah.
Continue.
Yes, I hope that I'm sure that every one of us do love ourselves and do things in order to care for ourselves. That's very good. I'm very happy to know that you care about yourself. So let's do a little bit of an exercise in order to feel better and relax more. So I want all of you to relax yourself. So if you can turn on the camera, I would request to turn on the camera if you can. Otherwise, it's fine. But it would be better if you can turn on the camera. So I want you to close your eyes. Focus on your attention on your breath. As you breathe slowly, focus on the sensation of your breath. As you breathe, feel the coolness of the air as it enters into your nose. Now bring the awareness of the feel of your breath completely from the rising of your chest to the fall of your belly. Breathe in, breathe out. Now experience every breath you take, in and out. So as you continue to breathe, try to let go of any distracting thoughts that may arise. Try to let go of any negative thoughts. Instead, focus on the present moment and the sensation of your breath. If your mind wanders, that's all right. Simply notice where your mind is going. Gently bring your attention back to your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. As you continue focusing on your breath, try to make it a little deeper and relax. Allow your body to relax. Release any tension or stress that you have. Imagine your breath flowing through your body, bringing a sensation of calmness and well-being in your body. Now imagine yourself waking up after a good night's sleep. Starting your day with a sense of purpose. You wake up refreshed and energized. Take a few moments to stretch and greet the day. You imagine yourself walking to the mirror in your room. Now look at the person you see in the mirror. That person is your best friend. Give a smile to that person. That person needs your smile. Tell this person, call on the person's name, that is you. Tell that person that you are beautiful, you are worthy of love and affection, you deserve to be happy, you are special, you are capable of achieving greater things. Give a hug to yourself. Now, open your eyes. So how do you feel now? Just now we exercised it's the visualization exercise. Although it's just a visualization exercise, this is something that you can do to love yourself more. It's not always about doing something bigger, but okay, Ilja, you felt sleepy, relaxed, and good, right? So you might feel a little bit sleepy too. Uh, but it will at the same time it can relax your body. It will help you to feel calm and focus your attention towards yourself. So this is also a technique. This is not just a relaxation tool, but it is also a technique that you can do in order to, you can practice in order to love yourself, to bring your attention and focus to your body, and to remind yourself that you are capable, you are beautiful, and you have potential to do things. And likewise, as you saw in the as you experienced, as you imagine going towards the mirror, that is something that you can practice for your own. Waking up, thinking of the productive day ahead, and then standing in front of the mirror and talking to yourself. So it's a part of self-talk too. So that is a technique that you can definitely use and practice in order to love yourself more. Sam, do you have anything to add?
I think that's something very interesting to add on to our bucket list for the toolbox that Ms. Shahina also says very frequently. So one of the tools is visualizing exercise for sure. My question would be, what should be the duration of these exercises, and then how often should we be doing it?
It can be, it doesn't have to be long. If you practice it long, it depends on what you are feeling. For an example, sometimes you might feel a little bit frustrated, or you might get a trigger due to a situation. Maybe somebody's passed on a comment at you, like you really like it. Even then, you can practice a breathing exercise. It can help you to regain focus instead of a reaction. So basically, it can be very short too. So the point is that it should calm your body. You should feel calm so that it will help you to regain focus.
And then my other question was, does it haste? I mean, if we don't face these type of situations also, is it required for us to do it often or every day at the start of the day, or how impactful is it going to be to the rest of the day itself?
Yeah, it can be any time of the day you can do, but if you start with a relaxation exercise at the beginning of the day, it can be very helpful for you. It will help you to think of the day ahead. And at the same time, it can be, as I said earlier, it can be practiced while you are at work, while you feel that you are being distracted. You can use this technique to calm yourself. So if you I will recommend to start your day with a breathing exercise or visualization exercise, which can help you to be more productive. And always it says that the scholar says that always imagine yourself. For an example, you have a big event ahead, you have something to do. So imagine yourself doing that instead of thinking, I will do this, I will do this. Imagine yourself as the person you want to be in that event. Or maybe you have an exam, or maybe you have a speaking session, or you have a like it is I have read a lot of times from a lot of books that even the sports people who play sports, they use these techniques. Like they use visualizations techniques before going to going into the field, so that they imagine themselves doing that, having that shot for themselves. And then they put that mind, they visualize, they put it in mind, and they go out there to play. And it helps them to perform better, to achieve their goal. So definitely, if it works for them, why not for us? Why not for everyone? It will definitely work just you have to imagine yourself doing that, yourself in the person, as the person that you want to be, instead of telling yourself that it's okay to tell yourself you will do. But science says that if you imagine as the person you want to be, your mind will act upon it. Your mind will be more focused towards it. So it can be done anywhere, anytime. It doesn't need a lot of practice. It doesn't need a lot of any other person to do. You can do it for yourself.
Okay. It's very clear when we should be doing it and then how frequently we should be doing it. So, for example, if I want to tell my daughter about it, or if I want to tell one of my colleagues to do it, what are the things that I should tell him to do a visualizing exercise? What are the things that I should tell him? Okay, you should be focusing your breath, or what should be the technique that how we can tell a person that they should be practicing it, or what are the things that we need to take into consideration when doing a visualization exercise?
When doing a visualization exercise, bringing, having that calmness is important. So basically, breathing, focusing on the breath, or focusing, maybe it could be visualizing something. With my students, I normally do, for an example, if we are out there in a field playing, or when they are very active, I normally do is calm them down. Maybe just ask them to lie down. If it is an open air, look at the sky, look at the trees, then visualize, uh, think about the sky, the color, clouds, the patterns on it. If there are trees, there, how the leaves are moving, the sound, how the wind is feeling, the breeze. So it can be based on the situation, based on where you are, depending on where you are. But the important point to note down here is that you should be relaxing. It should have a focus on where you want them to be. So then when we focus on our breath, it will help us to be, when we ask them to breathe slowly and focus, it will help them to be more focused, and it will help them to be more calm.
Yeah. And then how do we know if what we have done, the visualization we have done, is we have done it correctly? Because if you see in the chat box also, I felt good, Neela felt relaxed, and Iju felt sleepy. So are these all correct answers?
Yeah, so there cannot be one result of a visualization. It can be different. We all are different based on what we experience. Based on what we experience, we can't bring one conclusion to everyone, because it can be different. And again, at the same time, it can be because of the situation, mental situation the person is in, it can be different. For an example, Iju felt sleepy, maybe Iju is already tired, then it was relaxing to her, and maybe Iju felt sleepy. So it can be different, but we can always try to have a goal, make them visualize. Think, for an example, just now the visualization we had, your mind can wander to other places. But when we visualize, okay, we can ask the other person to focus on your mind wander, but you can try to bring it to the breath, to the feel of it, how the body is moving, the lungs, the stomach. So it will help us to regain focus if it wanders. So it will be, when we are doing it for ourselves too, we can always try to minimize the distractions. If we, for example, during the starting of the day, if we want to do this exercise, we can always find a place where we can do it. As some of the participants said that they find their own time. That is something they can do during their own time. So it can be more effective when it is done in a place where there is less distractions. So yeah, it can work.
Thank you, Aska, for
Yeah.
that tip itself. I'm sure that to gain focus, to minimize the distraction in a world where there's a lot of information that is bombarding to us from different direction, to calm us down, visualization could be one thing that could happen.
Yes.
So Niaza is asking a question, what are the things that we can visualize on, Aska?
What are the things that we can visualize on? Yeah, it can be, normally we look for something that is soothing, right? It can be like if we are doing visualization, but at the same time it can be something that you want to focus. It's a like visualization is a broad topic. If you want to visualize something, like if you want to visualize a successful day, you can just imagine yourself waking up, then doing the things, prioritizing the things, and doing the things that you want to do in order to be that successful person. At the same time, you can have that feeling for yourself, how I feel to have done these things and how I will do these things. Where will I be? What will I be doing? So you can visualize those things in order to visualize a successful day. Feel the feelings that you are having while you are visualizing those things. And at the end, you can think of where you are at the end of the visualization, how you feel, how successful you feel. Focus on the emotions, focus on the feelings, focus on the happiness, and then reflect back later on, reflect back what you have done in order to be successful. So that is something you can visualize. Likewise, if you want to have a certain goal, you can visualize that goal. You can visualize that person, you doing that, you achieving that goal. What will you do to achieve that goal? At the end, you having that feeling to have that goal achieved. So that can be visualizations to achieve your goal. Likewise, there can be a lot of other visualizations that you can have a visualization just to calm yourself down, place that you feel better, but that you feel loved when you are going to make a decision. So likewise, you can visualize a lot of things.
Thank you, Aska, for
Yeah.
that answer. I think Iju had raised her hand. Yes, Iju?
Yes, I wanted to share my experience in visualization. I feel it's a very powerful thing, especially when I work on my therapy. I just visualize my right hand working properly or holding something uh, with my right hand before I take the action. I always see that in my mind, and it really works for me. When I visualize the picture in my mind, it really happens. I can really make it happen. I feel like it's kind of for medical things. So I just wanted to share my experience. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Iju. Yeah, thank you, Iju, for sharing your experience. I'm sure visualization is a powerful tool that we all use. I think it's just a technique that we should be spreading more, talking more about it, which is going to help us to regain the focus, and then it will help us to achieve this self-talk, loving ourselves itself, right? What about what is the other tool that we could talk about, Azka?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Viju, for sharing your experience. I'm happy that it works for you, and keep practicing and loving yourself more. So there are a lot of techniques and tools that you can do. You can apply to your life, to your everyday life in order to feel better. That is something that I have started practicing recently. It has been going on since I learned about it, since I started reading the books about self-love, and since I started writing the book that is self-talk, practicing self-talk. And I have earlier also mentioned about the self-talk, but here I want to focus on how we can change our positive thinking to our negative thoughts that we encounter to positive things. So it's very important. A lot of times we feel triggered by situations. We have a lot of negative thoughts. We blame ourselves. We think of all the worst case scenarios that can happen to ourselves. During those times, what we tell ourselves matters, because our brain is made in a way that it catches everything, it acts upon what we say. So if you say that something is bad for you, if you believe that something is bad for you, your brain will believe that it is bad for you, and it will try to protect you from that thing, because the brain, it takes it as a trigger, something harmful. So that's why it's important that we identify the triggers, we identify the negative thoughts, and try to change it to positive thoughts so that it will be helpful. For an example, normally we blame ourselves for situations, like, right? We often give up on things, even the smallest things, like we can't do it. Instead of saying that we can't do it, we are failing, we can change it to a positive thought, positive self-talk. Talk to ourselves, we can talk to ourselves positively. I will give a try, or I am learning. Instead of I will fail, we can say that I will try, I will try to do it, I will do it. Then it will be positive. It can be changed to a positive and empowering self-talk. Likewise, it's important to practice positive self-talk. Whenever you have a negative thought, change it to a positive thought. Or whenever you feel like you are in a situation, think of the worst thing that you can have. You can be in a worse, far more worse situations, and think about the good things that you have. So it will help you to think positive, and it will help you to be successful on whatever you do. So I normally practice self-talk often. I talk to myself. I used to talk myself in a very negative way. Sometimes I used to. Even now, sometimes I can find myself talking in a very negative way. But again, as soon as I hear it, as soon as I realize that I am doing it, I change it to a positive and empowering talk. So that is a tool you can definitely use.
Yeah, I think again that is some a very interesting concept that we all read about in the power of no clean up your mental
Yeah.
mess, right? So we talk about this one, and then they talk about for every negative thought, think about three things positive. How related is these two concepts? So is it the same thing that we are talking about here?
Yes, it is the same thing that when we think about something positive, when we think about positive things, yeah, we are just changing our thought patterns. We are changing it to something more favorable or more positive. So basically, the science behind is the same, and at the same time, thinking of it and telling it to yourself, it is more empowerment to it. It gives more empowerment to ourselves by telling it to ourselves, not just thinking, but telling it to yourself works like a combo. Yeah.
So does it mean that anything that comes into us or difficulty or anything negative, just rephrasing it to be something positive, does it mean the same thing?
Yes, we can rephrase it to something positive, something doable. That is the that is something which can help us to overcome in this situation. Our thinking matters, right? What we tell ourselves matters.
So for example, in a situation where some of us thinks that, so let's think about a scenario. For example, my daughter says that tomorrow we are having a competition. I don't think I can win. So in that case, to change this thinking, how can we approach this thinking and then change it to a positive affirmation or positive thinking so that the whole thing changes? How can we help using this concept?
Yeah, can you repeat it again? Can you repeat the phrase again?
There's a competition. I don't think I'm going to
Yeah.
win.
So it is, I don't think I am going to win, right?
Yep.
So I have written it down. Let's see what other participants think of it. How can we change it to something positive? Now the self-talk is that I don't think I am going to win. What do other participants think of this? How can we change it to something positive? So there can be a lot of phrases like we can come up with a lot of phrases we can say instead of saying, I don't think I'm going to win. So is there any suggestions? I'm going to enjoy it.
I
There will be
will,
new things to learn. Yes,
I
Nijo?
will do, I will do my best.
Yes, very good. I'll give it my best. So it sounds challenging. So it can also be a positive self-talk, right? I am up for the challenge. I'll give my best. I'm going to win it. I'm going to enjoy it. I will learn. I will continuously learn. And all these things can be, all these phrases can be positive self-talks instead of saying that I am going to. I think this is something that we need to learn. We need to talk about more often to younger people about, because when I normally have a lot of conversations with teenagers and kids, they often tell negative, they often have negative self-talks about themselves. And whenever they find something is difficult, they will just say that I can't do this, this is too difficult, I won't be able to do this. So even as parents or as sisters and brothers, as family members, this is something that we can always encourage themselves to. I think that is something they need to learn. Think that if they learn it, if they learn how to phrase it, how to change it, it can be very productive for them. If they, when it becomes a habit, it will definitely be helpful for them.
I think that is something very important that you just mentioned. people needs to learn how to rephrase this to a
Yes.
positive way of saying it, right? And then it's just spreading the word itself, teaching them, and then asking them to help their friends also to change these type of phrases into something positive. So I think that's something important as parents, as siblings, as friends that we could do to spread the positivity in any situation and then changing the situation to a positive way, right?
Yeah, sure. It can be very helpful. And then before moving ahead, I have a little game that we can play. So are you ready to play a game? We'll see who is the winner. So who are up for the game? Okay, Ijo is always up now. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, so you are going to guess the gibberish here. So here is a word. You are going to guess what it is. I'll see who is able to answer first. So what do you think is this?
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you have to say it, okay, instead of writing, just say it. So is it Naf who answered first? Okay. Next one.
Positive thoughts.
Okay, very good. Is that Neela, right? I thought that it can be a bit difficult, so I selected a bit easier words, but I think this is too easy. This is positive thoughts.
I am a happy person.
I am a happy person. Can this be a self-talk that we can practice every day?
I do that, yes.
Yeah, that's very good. I'm a happy person.
I am enough. I am enough.
I'm enough. Okay. I think everyone answered together, right? I am enough. You say yourself that you are enough. I am enough.
I am enough. I am a winner.
I'm a winner. Okay, very good. So that's a very small, simple game. I think you all played very well. And the idea is just to practice the self-talk to yourself and make it a habit every day. Likewise, there can be a lot of self-talks that you can practice every day. At the same time, I also want to talk about another tool which is very helpful. So I will share my screen again. Okay, I still, okay, I haven't stopped sharing, right? Okay. So this is a self-coaching model which can be very helpful when we try to think of a situation, a trigger. This model can be helpful in order to solve any problem that we encounter. I thought that I will share this model so that it can be helpful for every one of us when we are facing with situations. So this self-coaching model talks about circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. So basically the circumstances about affect that you are in a circumstance that you are in. For an example, if you are Student, you are a student. That is the circumstances there you are in. It should be a fact. It should be. It should have. It should not be an opinion. The circumstance should not be an opinion. It should be a fact. For an example, let's say you are a student, and then your thought is, okay, you want to. Uh, uh, let's say you want to every day you want to wake up early, but you are not able to wake up early in the morning, and you are not able to reschedule your day. So as a result of this, you feel that you have certain thoughts. Because of the circumstances, you have these thoughts that you feel that you won't be able to do it, you won't be able to schedule your day, you won't be able to wake up early, you will always end up waking late. So because you have these thoughts, negative thoughts to yourself, it creates your feelings, different feelings, like, okay, you feel very useless, you feel very unproductive, and you feel that you are not doing enough. So a lot of emotions come, and as you feel these emotions, you can't ignore the emotions, you have to go through the emotions. And because of these emotions, it can create actions that you do. Maybe you do other things. You are not able to schedule your day, you are not able to wake up, then you just end up waking up late or doing other things, maybe sleeping late, because you have these unproductive thoughts, you don't think of anything productive. And the last thing is the result. Because of all your feelings, all of your unproductive thoughts and these actions, which actually do not lead to the to the achievement of your goal, you have this result of not achieving your goal, not waking up. Maybe if we say if you have that goal. So it's important that you focus on each and every aspect of this and try to improve it. For an example, let's say this. Okay. For an example, when you encounter this, you believe that you blame the circumstance for yourself. Okay, I am the victim of the circumstance. But instead of you focus on the results, and you think of what could be better if you focus on the result. Okay, what is the result you want? And okay, the result, I'm not able to achieve my goal. Then you start from the bottom, from the result, and you think of the actions. What actions can I change in order to change my situations? How can I wake up early? What can I do to wake up early? Okay, if I sleep early, if I reschedule my day earlier, the day before, I might be able to wake up early. So if I write my goals, I can be wake up. I might be able to wake up early. So if you do that, what will be your feelings? And then what are the thoughts that you need to change in order to feel happier? So if you start from the base and if you go up, you will realize that it's not the circumstance that it creates these things. It can be, the circumstance can be independent from your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. So basically, it's about how you manage your thoughts, how you create your thoughts, how you think, how positive you think about something, and how you feel about yourself, and the actions. What are the actions that you want to take in order to achieve your goal? And then you will be able to you will be able to achieve the results. Instead of we often blame the circumstances, right? So instead of blaming the circumstances, we will be able to do it. So when you are faced with a situation, you can uh, start from anywhere you want, from the result. Then you can think of the actions. What are the actions that you need to change in order to get that result? Then what will be the feelings associated with it? And then at the end, what are the thought patterns that I should have? What are the thinkings that I should adopt in order to achieve this? So basically, this is a model that you can use in any situations. I believe that this can be a very important tool in order to manage things that we encounter in daily lives.
I'm I'm sure this is
Yeah.
one of the models. Yes, definitely we can use just to overcome any of the situations or circumstances, just to get over it and then address those issues. In tonight's session, actually, you have presented to us with the three different techniques that we can use in order to self-talk.
Yes.
Number one was about visualization. Number two was about talking to overcome negatives by changing it to positives. And number three, about the model, self-coaching model, where we talk about circumstances, thought, feelings, actions, and coming up with results. I think these are different tools that you have mentioned in your book also, Be Your Own BFFF. And then there are other tools that you talk about in your book itself. Uh, I would like to open for the audience for any questions regarding any of the tools that we have used, or anything additional that they would like to highlight with respect to self-talk. Audience?
I have a question.
Yes, shoot.
So, something that I recently came across is that younger generation, so they like to be negative or mean. They like to have this thing where, they're actually very positive. They don't really think of themselves as limited or anything, but at the same time, they like to say these things like, um, I'm not enough, or I'm not going to do it. And I want to know if saying something like that can still affect their life, like, because it's still negative talking, right?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, of course, there are a lot of things that one would need in order to change, right? In order to achieve something. So it's not just saying something to yourself and you will be able to change it, but it's a part of bringing that change, saying that thing to yourself, saying. And I think that when we to talk about the teenagers nowadays, like it's very different from us, right? When we were, but even during that time we also had those thoughts. The difference is that we don't express it, we don't say it, we are not that daring to say that in front of everyone, right? So the generation nowadays, like, they are more outspoken when they want to talk about something. Like if they want to, if they feel like they can't do it, they will say they can't do it. Like we might keep that to ourselves and we might not say, but deep inside we say it to ourselves, right? We can't do it. This is so boring. No, this is like uh, things like that. So
Yes, they actually go on to saying, sorry, they actually go on to saying things like, I am a sadistic person, or I am a bad
mhm.
person, and they label themselves. But at the same time, uh, they are, okay with it. And I
Yeah.
find it very, like, I always question them, right? Saying this, do you really feel that way? And they say that, no, I don't feel that way, but still they keep saying that to themselves. And I find it that they do, it does affect their life in some ways. Like, I do see them going to that side after accepting that, okay, they don't really believe it in their heart, but still, because they say it, kind of, it becomes their reality kind of situation. So Dear,
Yeah, they
do you
are
get
very, yeah, they are very different, right, from our generations. Like, we might see that they are okay, but they are not okay. They might say that they don't believe it, but it comes to their mind because they believe it in a way. So if you talk to them, if you are engaged with them in a deep conversations, there'll be a lot of things that you don't see. You will see a lot of things that you don't see in a normal conversation. So basically, they have a lot of uh, things, and at the same time, they can be easily changed. So they don't really think about some of the things when they say, right? They might say otherwise, maybe later on. But deep inside, they have their own problems. Maybe it's been triggered from the childhood, starting from the childhood, right? Like, as we say, we are the products of our childhood. So they have that. Maybe it is learned from home or learned from their peers, mostly learned from home, right? Depending on what they experience. So they are so used to. And another thing is they are so open. They know a lot of vocabularies now to express themselves. If they feel that they are useless, they will say that I feel useless. I feel so. I'm an idiot, or whatever they have in their mind. So they are exposed to a lot of vocabularies, so they can say whatever they want, right? They will express it. And at the same time, when we engaged with them in a deep conversation, they will tell us more about the those random words that they say in conversations. So I feel that it needs to be changed. They need to be guided, yeah, right? So that they can also change these conversations, the internal dialogues they have, isn't it?
Yes, I think exactly that's what we are seeing in present in the young generation. It's totally different, and then there's so much information going on that they are trying to be very cool in a negative way, right? And then nobody's
Yeah.
there to guide them. Okay, these are the tools that is available just to change those negativity into positivity, those affirmations, how to address those things. So we need to educate the younger generation about those tools, about those opportunities in terms of coaching, about those techniques that can be used to guide them, help them, and then be better people from not just physically, but also mentally strong people that can face tomorrow's world. Thank you all for
Yes.
participating. Before we conclude the night, I would like to ask Aska to give a final remark.
Thank you, Isam, and thank you everyone joined. And I'm glad that I'm able to have this conversation with you all. And I will say that love yourself more, and always keep reading and keep finding more information about things around us, and uh, have that time for yourself. Do things that you love and be kinder to yourself, and practice these tools and techniques. There are a lot of tools and techniques out there you can use. I use them and make it a habit. It will need, in order to make it a habit, it will need a lot of practice. So practice it regularly, change your thought patterns, and then you can be happier. I hope that the techniques that we have discussed is helpful, and I'm sure that some of you, or maybe all of you, are practicing it somehow, and make it a habit. And I wish you all the best, and love yourself more.
Thank you, Aska. Before we end, Iju, just you had a
Yeah.
hand raised, so if you can just make it short.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question. Actually, I'm having this trouble with uh, just I feel like look of negative energy from other people around me. So I always find it difficult to actually love myself the way I actually should. Uh, So I want to ask, how can I overcome the negative energy from other people? Actually, I myself don't see me as a useless person or anything like that. It's just the people around me with some negative energy. So I want to ask how I can overcome.
Thank you, Viju, for your question. Aska, if you can just give a very brief answer, since we are over time now of 7 minutes. So if you can briefly explain what could be the possibility, how we can go ahead and change that energy from other people to positive energy.
So I believe that it's all about you believing in yourself. So there'll be people out there telling things to you, right? Criticizing you, and if you keep it as something independent and you feel that you have that power to not to get affected by the things around you, then you can win in that situation. Something I always practice is that like we can't control. There are situations, there are circumstances that we can't control, right? It will be there. It will always there'll be that we will always encounter those situations. So it's always good to think about why should I react to this? Have pause, have a time for yourself, and think of how important it is for me to react to this, how important it is for me to extract this energy. Like, what can I block it with your thoughts, with your beliefs? Then that's the only way that you can overcome it. Otherwise, if you let your to yourself, then it can be you can be affected with it. So it's good, or it's always good where it is effective to practice that. Have a time for yourself and think of it, whether is it important for me to react to this? Is it important for me to think about this? Can I control it? If you can't, if you don't have a control over it, there's no necessity for you to think about it. Likewise, it's important to distract from those thoughts. And yes, as Niyaza said, we cannot change how people feel about us. We can change our mindset. It's important. And at the same time, that journaling can be very helpful for you to not just write about what happens, but about your feelings. Understand your feelings, go through it, and then be positive about the situation. Then it can help you.
Yeah, I think exactly that's what I have seen, I have observed also. A lot of time what happens is we need to be powerful enough internally, mentally, physically to overcome all those negativity. I remember seeing in the HR convention recently, I think towards the end, Mr. Afif was talking about the same thing. He says that any negativity, he makes sure that the positivity is coming from inside. That's how he enjoys
Yes.
what he's doing. He enjoys his job. That positivity from inside. I believe that positivity is coming because of the strength he has built in himself mentally, and practicing all this visualization, all these techniques, and then he talks about it. He practices those things. I think being strong enough is important. Loving yourself to overcome those things. I think that's what we are trying to build here, making sure that the younger generation is loving themselves for a better future, for a stronger mentality facing the world tomorrow. So I think one of the techniques is, or one of the things that we are looking into is about self-talk and different techniques that can be used to love ourselves. So thank you very much for attending tonight's session. We will end it here. Thank you. Masala.
Thank you. Good night.